Hi guys, good evening or good morning if you are in Asia.
Good evening, John.
All right, nice to hear from you. And so somebody responded, that means you're all listening. I mean, my audio is coming through. This is my first Zoom meeting, so I hope everything goes smoothly and we can benefit from this as intended, because a lot of preparation has been made. And also I know that people were looking forward to this. So thank you guys for joining me. And I will be sharing my screen. There are two parts. One is specifically about LeelooTrading, and the other one about my strategy to get us that $9,000 promise on the evaluation.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We have it here. So I spoke about the milestone. This is a rehash, nothing new here. Now, why not one-up trader? Hopefully all of you saw this. The biggest problem with the one-up trader is this clause that the profits must rise every 15 calendar days. What are they expecting, huh? This is totally unreasonable because they already control the account performance with the trailing drawdown. There is absolutely nothing on earth that justifies the requirement for profit every 15 calendar days. So forget about one-up trader.
Okay.
What I like about one-up trader, a friend of mine and I were doing manual trading on it, and my friend was doing very well. I like the online dashboard. It's very, very special dashboard that unfortunately I missed that on LeelooTrading. LeelooTrading does not have an online dashboard for this with the account stats. So it only has ways for you to reset the account. They'll pay the fee. But no information about your account performance. And that is very bad. And I know it's possible because one-up trader has an excellent online dashboard for you to follow your account performance. Maybe that's one of the great things that Leeloo is promising for August. David just sent me a forward email on LeelooTrading promising something really big for August. So thank you, David, for that. Let's see what comes up. And most of all, I need to have an online dashboard. Now, on making a choice on the Leeloo, once you are approved with the funded account, they have something called the accelerator. I read it. I don't like it. I don't see any reason for the accelerator. So the investor account is what matters. And what I like about the investor account is if you let profits accumulate once you are funded and do not worry about cashing out the money as fast as you can, then the trailing drawdown will stop once you reach the initial balance that your live account has started with. So basically you'll be running and in a way that you can go over the trailing drawdown that will no longer exist because now it's taking away from your profits. So that can save your account. Sometimes, account is going to be killed by one or two trades that goes over the trailing drawdown. And later on, this becomes very important. So if you are in this business to make money the very next month, this is not the way to run this. This has to let it grow some cushion. And I made some notes here about that 80% profits. So you can pick up on this later. I'm hoping to get to the meat of our meeting as fast as possible, which is the performance of the account that I am promising. So what can we do as a group? You can also do this individually, and I have already sent this out, that if you budget some money monthly, this business can make trader funding account can make you a lot of money over time. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. If we have 20 people in the group and we only pitch in $20 to $30, we're able to get something as a model account. So, and also low cost, and no time involvement from you as far as running the account server. I'll be doing all of that. You only have to participate to the extent that you want. And I know you will be more involved if you are running your own account because you want to copy the success and learn from other members about what you can do to improve your own account. But otherwise, the group account is looking for your money on a very low, small amount. In other words, minimize risk, maximize possibilities, right? So here is a layout of the meeting agenda for today. We have already spoken about the milestone 1, and I'm going to show you in a little while how we're going to get that $9,000 fast. The choice of apps for communication and the scope of the work that I'm going to do through this group, which means that my time is going to be very crunched with serving 2 websites. But I definitely think that this group thing here is very nice to serve the needs of people without looking for their money first. And once proven, I believe that you're going to see the great potential for you to fund your lifestyle, perhaps depending on how this goes. You will see the potential, and the risk is absolutely minimum. Now, the Achilles heel is the balance reset, so we will have to deal with it, dial in this later into the presentation when we talk about staying away from hitting that balance reset. Early on, when it resets, the cost is only $80. So that's not bad for resetting the account. The problem is time. Nobody wants to start over, right? So reaching that $9,000 fast, I will move on now to the next part of the presentation about the strategy itself. So now I have to get to my next PowerPoint. All right. I have you see that I will find it much easier this time. Here it is. Trading. All right, here we go. All right, guys. Let's see. You see my full screen? What I have here is a snapshot of a replay of the V3. The V3, by the way, is based on the V2 of the step MA. It's not better than the V2. It's different. It accomplishes a different purpose. And the purpose is to grow your account by adding contracts when you have a trade closing profit. We all know that adding contracts to losers is the fastest way to lose an account, right? You will blow up an account by adding losers. How about adding contracts to winners? I tried this for many, many years, and it was never easy to accomplish, and probably still isn't. But I found that it will serve our purpose to get the $9,000 very fast. And I will give you some demonstration here. And I've done this on many, many, many different back tests. And the conclusion is very, very clear that you can run up to $9,000 on a short term, but it's not sustainable because you don't know when it's going to go into a losing sequence. So we need to have a more conservative approach after we reach the $9,000. So let's just take a quick look here. You can see that it started with 1 trade negative. So the next trade was still 1 contract. And then once it made a profit of $750 is a TP, by the way, and the stop loss is also $750. Once it made one full TP, it added 2 contracts. And by hitting,
is the time period a 1-week time frame, John, for our reference?
This was just from 319 to 323. Okay. So I took a snapshot here of a sequence of 4 trades, and you're going to see more of this. So every time it hits 4, it means that we're going to reset and start over with 1. So we start with 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit 4. The total amount was $3,900 in 4 days. Okay, and how often does this happen? On this particular, just 1 chart running for 1 quarter, the last quarter, it repeated this pattern 7 times. So you would have had 7 chances of reaching $7,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in a week, and then $9,000 sometimes in 1 week. Let's see more examples how this works. So the next week or the next following days, from the 25th to the 28th, so in 3 days, it was only $1,388, but still positive. You know, it did the sequence that I expected: 1, 2, 3, 4, reset, and there was a little loss here of course, this is big when you're trailing down a $5,000 maximum trail. So we're down at $3,600. So if it lost one more trade here, we would reset the account, would reset the balance. So it's very crucial that it does not lose more than two, depending on the contract size. So when it gets to 3 and 4 contracts, it's all or nothing. Okay. Now on the initial milestone 1, guys, if you lose, you're just going to have to spend less than $100 and start over. But you don't want to run this looking for $10,000 at once, because once funded, you don't want to start over. we'll dial in more on that later. But this one here definitely works for the funded phase. It works on so many charts that is incredible how fast you get to. So on adding the previous page to this one here, we have about $6,000, right, or $5,000. I don't remember. Now the following week, 3/29 to 4/1, actually in just 3 days here, guys, $4,400, and the same pattern. So you can see very clearly that this works as far as when it works, and we'll see when it does not work. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, it came out with $4,400, and let's see what happens next. Oops. I went too fast. Okay, this is it. Now here we have more days from 4/6 to 4/21. I put in more days here to see a broader view of what is happening here, right? So once it counted on the trade number 59, once it hit the 4 trades, it reset. Then it goes to trade 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. It was all good. And when it has a loss, then it starts again to pick up more contracts on the next win. So I'm waiting for a loss, and then bingo, there is a winner, and I'm going to double up, and I'm going to add another contract. But this time, look what happened. I had 2 losses at 3 contracts. So I'm at $3,600, $3,300 danger zone. If I have another 1 or 2 losses, I'm going to reset. But by now, guys, you've seen that we would have already hit the $9,000 on the previous 3 pages that I showed you. So we would, in actuality, would not be trading this screen anymore, because now we're going to look for a more conservative plan. But I wanted to show it to you here that that's where the danger zone comes in. Luckily, on this example, it turned out that the next 2 trades were positive. So the overall here was still $2,450. But of course, as I showed here, this one more trade and we would reset, one more trade negative, and would reset the account. And now the next sequence was really good. All 4 trades, nothing negative. 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. The 4th one at 4 p.m. it closed without progressing, because there is the market close time. But the next trade, perfect 4 TP in a row, and so that's $7,500. So this is the perfect scenario. It does not always happen, but even when it doesn't happen, all perfect scenario, you saw that you come out ahead. So overall, this came out as $35,000 for the quarter, but look at, it would reset your account with over the drawdown over $5,000 at some point. So I don't know at what point here. I would have to look into the file, but you would have had multiple chances to reach the $9,000 and be out of this. And even after reaching $6,000, $7,000, you can scale down and not be as aggressive, because you will have more days, to reach the 10 minimum trading days, and you make $6,000, $7,000 in a week. You can slow down your pace. So I put together here I'm working on a series of the version 3. The 3.1 is the most aggressive that we talked about. So that would produce the highest result. And then the next one, lower result with the lower, hypothetically lower drawdown. So as I went on diminishing the target, then I get better, or that is lower drawdown. I'm not going to show the details each one of this here, because my point right now is to show you that we can reach $9,000 on the top one quite quickly, quite easily. And then on phase 2, the funded account, that's when we need to dial in on the most conservative approach and make one, instead of 9,000, we will be targeting $3,000 per month. And you think, whoa, just $3,000 per month? Well, that would be, over 20 to close to $30,000 in a year with just a few $100s of initial risk. So that's pretty good. Here's an example of an inverted risk ratio. I'm running this account on NQ. This replay on NQ, the T-stop counter trend, and the net profit was negative, and the drawdown was 11,000. But what I want to show you here is how my plan works on this scenario here, that even with an overall net negative, this had, over the 1 quarter, had 10 opportunities for 4 trades with TP in a row. So this file here is not showing 1, 2, 3, 4 yet, because I have not gotten to this version of the T-stop. I will make this soon, in the coming days. But basically, you can see there were 10 sequences of 4 profits in a row. So each one would produce $7,500. So for 10, that would be $75,000. Yeah, there were losses. Now, this does not work on a funded account, because at some point, and I will show you next screen, that it will hit drawdown to liquidate your balance. So you don't want to do that. But on an initial milestone 1, you have multiple choices of picking up. So you start, for example, on the 15th, in just a couple of hours, you would be up $7,000, $500 on 4 trades with NQ. So you can also try this on your own. You have those of you who have my software, you can see with an inverted risk of $750 profit and $1,400 loss, you get 4 profits in a row many times. In this example, 10 times in a quarter. So overall, from 315 to 319, so that's 4 days, it would produce $9,900, guys. And we did not have, at some point, it would have been over $9,000. And then the last 2 trades took away $2,800. So we were already up $10,000 in just 3 days, okay? And no, this is not showing that kind of money on the right column, because on the quantity, I have only ones. I have not compounded the contract size yet. But the idea, you can see that 4 profits in a row, $7,500. 4 profits in a row, $7,500. So though the net results, I already said this, right, negative, but why we don't put this on a funded account? Here's why. Here's a bad sequence from 324 to 328. It did not reach 4 trades in a profitable trades in a row. Instead, it was alternating profit and loss, profit loss. And since this is a inverted risk reward ratio, you would reset the account after just 2 or 3 bad trades. In this case, you would have 3 resets. So you don't want, obviously, as I said, we don't want to reset a funded account. But on a milestone, just in starting up, you can play with this. And if it goes wrong, yeah, you're going to pay $80 to start over. So the point is, for the 3.1, you need an offense team. And that is to get to that touchdown $9,000. So there is not a question of if, but when. And running my software, you can pick and choose what you want to reach that $9,000. And I will show you multiple possibilities. And of course, my problem now is which one do I choose? But they're all good as far as the $9,000 initial goal. And then we need a defense team to maintain our funded account. So I'm looking for, $2,500, $3,000 a month without hitting the $5,000. And once you build that up over 3-4 months, you have more money. And then we can think about withdrawing money. But with our group project, we can also keep on adding more and more accounts and have this thing going for a long time, making multiple accounts, successful accounts. And so I'm working on the lineup of 3.2, 3.3, 3.4 to look for conservative targets. And I'm looking for outside vendors. So I have nothing here to sell my program as the best. I think that there is nothing in trading that is better or best. There are only choices. And so, but if I find something that gives me or gives us such defense, let's say we add to our defense team of making $2,000 to $3,000 a month per contract and not hit the $5,000 drawdown. 2 participants in the group have the bot from Targets Trading Pro, but one of our participants also said, hey, this guy is an ex-convict. Yes, we know about Bob Amco. However, I don't want to hold that against him when it comes to software. If he's got the real deal, we'll see. I'm waiting for two guys from our group to give me more insights about what that bot can do, and see here how we go forward. So this week I'm still debugging my software, but the thing is already in place. It's just a matter of cleaning up the code on certain things, like especially the start time, because once funded, the account cannot trade past the closing time of the market, 4:30 or 4:45 p.m. New York time. Then I need to make sure that the software is not going to place trade in those hours or in that 1 hour of market closing. Things like that that is specifically to this project that I have to work on the software. And hopefully, if we can all have everything together this week, we'll start next week. And how to participate. So as I said, if we're looking into $400 to $600 a month in cost, with 20 people, it's $20 to $30 per person. And you can send me your money on tpguide.net@gmail.com, PayPal. And of course, I'll keep accountability to the group. On the individual side, so if you want to run your own system on this, that is the V3.1, you get a space on my 50 slots available. Ninja.co is going to send out a message, so I think that there will be a lot of people who want this, but those 20 who are in my Kickstart group, especially you guys who are watching me right now with me here, so you have a place guaranteed in the 50 slots that I'm making available. Not that you have to, so you can just participate in the group and do nothing else. But if you do want to go beyond, so you have a spot there. However, I must make note that the group I'm offering one software with as is. It's optimized for this particular project. And if you ask me, if I want to try a different plan on the Leeloo, a smaller plan or a bigger plan, so I'm not going to look into that because it's just too much work for me. I'm looking to give you one software, and if you want to look at particular different ways of doing this. For example, you would think this is a big question. Should I trade at night, all night? Well, I trade my software all night. Sometimes I wake up and I will take a look. Sometimes I don't. Look up in the morning, and if something is not working, I've had to restart the software in the past. But it's not usual, but it happens, right? Something goes wrong with data. NinjaTrader is a tapestry of many vendors, data, networking of all kinds, and things go wrong on between exchange, and nobody owns the problem, right? So we have a problem there that we just cannot deal with it. And And so the big question you may have is, should I run it at night? Well, here's the thing. As I said, I run it all night. If you have a concern about that, is something that I'm not going to consult with you personally as a group. I just say this is the way I'm doing it. If you want to have answers and what ifs, then guys, I'm making my service affordable. So that would be at $350 for me to look into different individual preferences you may have, whatever they are. But again, that's not mandatory. You can just stay in the group and you can get a slot, run the software as I have already optimized it. And then it's, when it comes to paying me anything, it's only if you want, or if you don't have any experience of how to run this thing, you know. I think of getting profits from the market is like fighting Mike Tyson in his glorious days. And you can't fight Mike Tyson in the market with just 5 minutes of me give you free time, because if I offer free time, I will have 10 times more people. And so the demand goes something like this. If I have 1 hour, that's only 6 minutes for each. So you have only 3 minutes to fight Mike Tyson in the market. And basically you're not going to be well prepared for that. But if you pay, if you're willing to pay, able and willing to pay, then you can get more time, more preparation, and especially if you don't know what you're doing. But if you know what you're doing, so I think this is very clear enough here that well, what I can do and what I cannot do. And on the milestone 2, that's the most important thing, because that's where we're going to make money, right? The first one is just warm up, a rehearsal. The real deal is on the milestone 2, where my software right now has only a 50-50 chance of staying in the game with the funded phase. And I'm working to bring that up, but it's just a matter of getting the code logic to cooperate fast enough. I already have the idea, the blueprint for it. But still, I can't make promise right now that it will work as intended. I hope so. And as I get better and better at this, I have a better chance of saying yes. There is a real potential of making a software that has a better than 50-50 chance on the funded account. And then if you know of any possibilities of us using outside resources, that's good too. Now about this choice of communication for the group, one guy sent me an email saying that he thinks Discord is a good one. So if I get more votes on Discord, we'll use Discord. I myself haven't used Discord, but I've heard good things about it. And otherwise, Telegram is a choice. WhatsApp is my #1 because I have been using WhatsApp for almost 10 years now. But that's I think that wraps it up. And if you have questions and clarifications, again, not on an individual basis, but on as a group basis, because I will not answer questions. What if you want to do this or that? So let's keep it to the group. But if you want to go beyond the group, you can go on your own and pay me nothing. Just take the software and run it on your own, or you can pay me and I will take from there. All right, guys. See, there any way for me to get questions here on the text or voice? Let's see chat. Right. Let's see what. Okay. Let's see what we have a few messages here.
Yeah, John, one question. What is the inverted risk reward ratio you're talking about?
For the target profit?
Yeah, on the NQ.
Oh, okay. The NQ is $750 profit, $1,400 loss. So with that, you achieve about 10, whether you are on the trend or counter trend, you hit about 10 sequences of 4 profits in a row. So that's, no matter what you do, you're going to get funded because if you go wrong once or twice, the third time, at some point you're going to hit the 4 and give you $7,000 in one run, and that happens only sometimes in 1 day or 2 or 3 days. Mm-hmm. But don't stay that greedy. greedy on the milestone too, because that will make money fast. But you know, with multiple accounts, I'm thinking, you know, if you have two accounts, one you run conservatively and the other you run more aggressively, even on the funded phase, and then you can play with it initially to build $7,500 on the funded account as fast as you can too. And if it does not work, then you have to start over. But you should have, in that case, you should have two, right? One funded conservative and one aggressive.
Yeah, so that group, the 20 members you mentioned, do you have 20 already, including
do.
us?
I
Yeah.
do. I have 21 names.
Okay.
So maybe somebody's going to drop, not send me the money, not communicating the app, but I already have the, so at this point I have 20. More than probably, I would say about 15 of them are already customers who bought or subscribed to my software in the past 6 months. So thank you guys for coming back for this. And five of them have not bought anything, but I'm not taking that into account. So you all in.
So the monthly, the contribution from each is around $20 to $30?
Yes. If we buy a software outside for $1,000, for example, no, just in case, then we would have a higher share, $50. But obviously that would be, you know, something that we all have to be convinced that it is a good deal to buy something from outside. I will hear from my two guys here, Mike and Derek, who have the bot, and hopefully we can confirm that. If so, you know, with good confirmation from people within our group, then we can take a leap of taking a chance on an outside software for a price that we can afford, obviously $1,000, and then that would be a small portion, $50 or so per person.
So
but otherwise, we'll be using only my software, and we'll see what we can do.
So how much is it, exact amount? Is it per month or is it one time?
Good question. So
Yeah.
here's the thing. Once you are funded, you don't have to pay the $300+, but you pay $88 for the data fee on the Leeloo account. And if we have a reset, that goes another $88. So what I'm thinking is we can keep on paying the $20 to $30 a month and add multiple accounts. So each month, so theoretically, of course, this is going to be a lot of work for me, and eventually I will need help. Maybe one of the group people in the group can take over. So each person, you know, eventually we add one account, depending on how much time you have for this, then it would be really nice, because if I run 1 or 2 or 3 accounts, someone else can run a 4th, 5th account. So over time, we could have you know, 10 different accounts all working for us as a group. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let's say that we keep on planning on paying the money, $20 to $30 a month, give or take, and add multiple accounts. And then eventually 3, 4, 6 months from now, we may be at the point of withdrawal. And when we get to withdrawal, then, you know, each person will share in the same proportion. And then you can use that to fund your own account. But my idea is if we get something to the level of staying the game in the funded account, we can have multiple accounts. So that would be a tremendous result over time as we add accounts month after month. But the milestone 1, guys, I have this under control. Okay, milestone 1 is I don't know why I didn't say this before, much long ago, because it's just I found it a child's toy to play with. This one here, the incredible multiples of 1, 2, 3, 4, reaching 6, 7, up to $9,000 in a week. But of course, there is a chance of resetting, and resetting at that early stage is not a problem. It's just go back 10 yards instead of going back 90 yards.
So, but initially we'll be running just the step MA, not the NQ, right?
Okay, exactly. So the NQ probably, if I debug the software and everything goes good, I'll have the NQ next week, within 2 weeks. So someone asked me about the NinjaTrader license key. So this is the nice thing about LeelooTrading. It's included in the $88 monthly fee. So Leeloo has done a very good job of getting us everything in the $88 monthly. No problem with the NinjaTrader license key once funded. So that's another benefit from over the offer at the other prop firms.
So
All right.
do we wait for the dashboard to be available on Leeloo before we start?
A good question on the dashboard. No, the dashboard today suffices. Our purpose is as far as getting started. But the Leeloo may never come up with a nice dashboard. What is a dashboard in the way that it works for the account is it ties in the performance on the NinjaTrader and the rhythmic, and then displays that on online format, because as you know, we can only run NinjaTrader on a as an application, not as online. And so the dashboard would help each of you to be able to see the account in pretty much real time more easily. You know, you could have multiple logins or would share that screen. And so as of today, it's not possible to share with you the performance of the account without taking screen prints or getting you to log in with, we'll have probably, my idea is probably have a weekly wrap-up meeting with the Zoom, or also you can see on the whatever the chat room that we're going to have ongoing. It's just that the dashboard that they have now does not help the communication process for us to be able to see the account at a glance. So that's the limitation about communication. So the dashboard would be about faster way for you to see the account performance at a glance. And let's see, does it include data fee as well? Yeah, the $88 include data fee. So all in for $88 on the funded phase. And by the way, I got a lot of votes here on the WhatsApp. So the WhatsApp so far is winning 4-1 as far as the choice of communication, guys. If any more questions, I will. Hopefully this will be recorded properly. I had selected the option for recording and so other people can watch. Although
So what is the next step?
Oh, next step. So there are a few little next steps. One is set up the communication app, so that at this point would be WhatsApp. Number two, so I'll send you an email with my contact for the WhatsApp. And number two, you send me your money, you know, I will make a number of that, whether it's 20 or 25, 30, it's in that range on the, but once we are on WhatsApp, I'll give you the exact amount. And so the details will come next on the communication, but I'm giving you a preview what's coming up. But the most important thing would be, I'm already thinking about phase milestone 2, whether we have a candidate outside of my own software to help us. And if so, that would be great. And in the future with multiple accounts, then I can run my own software on milestone 2 funded account. And I can run whatever software that we have concluded as a group that has the potential to make us, you know, $3,000 a month, give or take, and stay within the drawdown of $5,000. Number 3, the participation in the group is just a matter of doing the numbers. I already have 21. It's possible that one of you drops out, but if you don't, I'll take the 21 as is and not add any more. So it could be 21. And And then the next step for you, once you see everything together, whether you want to run the software, but I will give you the file once it's debugged, and you can decide whether you run it or not on your own, either for the evaluation or just to play with it until you want to do it on your own, set up a server and so forth. And so as a group, I can do more, invite you, those of you who may need a little information about running the software. So then not everybody needs to participate, but those who want to participate in how to install the software. So I will give you that much as a group as well. So you can run the 3.1, which is specifically just to pass the milestone 1 evaluation, be approved with the funded account. Now the ultimate step is the one that I'm still putting together, which would be the funded account. If I had to do it today, yes, I have the software for that, but I would have to reduce my target goal a lot, right? Like right now we have a software, and many of you are running it. The NQ2, the NQ2K V2, that software in the past 16 months, I would say almost 100% of the times would have produced $2,500 a month with a drawdown under $5,000. So yes, but it's greater than 50%, but I'm conservative and I say 50%. But if I had to, with a gun to my head, if I had to run a software of my own today to make me to $2,500 a month and keep on the drawdown of 5,000, that would be the NQ2K. And the second option, I'm working on it. The second option, the way it has come out, but I haven't finished the code, also part of the V3, would be way more profit. Could reach that $5,000 per month and still stay within the drawdown. But I don't want to risk that. Making $2,500 a month, it's $30,000 minus 20% of the fee to Leeloo. That would be $24,000 with an initial risk of only a few $100s. So that's pretty good. So that's where I'm at right now with the next step. Looking for the funded account phase. I have something, not quite happy 100%, but it's workable. It's just not the ideal that I would like to present. And if I get a good version out of the 3.2 or 3.3, 3.4 for the funded phase, that will be the ideal. And it will be way better than 50-50 chance. And we'll know that in a few days, like 5-6 days.
So once we are up and running, what are the returns we're looking at? After a few months, we don't want to take until we get a substantial amount in the account, right? We don't want to withdraw.
Yeah, we want to build the account double of the amount of the initial drawdown, which is $5,000. So we need $10,000 in profit. So you're looking at 3 to 4 months out, and hopefully not get reset. So if we reach that, and then we have $5,000 cushion, and then we have $5,000 profit. You know, then that's where I think we're looking at start drawing 1,000, 2,000, and another 1,000. But if we have 5 or 6 account guys, then we could be drawing eventually $1,000, $2,000 from multiple accounts. Mm-hmm. And also having diversity of results where, you know, different settings, different situations that will have different outcomes. Hopefully, most of them positive with multiple accounts.
So I am in the US, and how is the tax? What tax consequences does it have? I mean, is it like a simple investment and returns will be taxed?
No. You get a 1099 miscellaneous,
Okay.
which means, if it is a small amount and I'll get the 1099 because the account will be my name, but eventually if you put one account of the group in your name, so that you will, whoever has the name on the account will receive the 1099. And there is an amount of thousands of dollars that if I pay out, and then I also have to issue a 1099. But at this initial phase, we get the 1099 from LeelooTrading. And what you do with that is, let's say you get $10,000 and $8,000 belong to the group and $2,000 for you. So $2,000 is your net income, will be added to your personal income, and the $8,000 you offset in your tax as expenses. So I run my taxes as self-employed, and so that is no problem there. You expense it out. Now, if you, let's do on your own personal account, nothing related to the group. If you make $10,000 from LeelooTrading, then you get a 1099. And you're going to subtract all your personal costs, server, software. Let's say you spend $3,000 out in 1 year. So then you have $7,000 net that will be added to your personal income that you have to pay tax on.
Got it.
There is also a little problem with the personal income. If you are self-employed, you have to pay Social Security, self-employed tax on that amount. If you are self-employed. If you're not self-employed, you have to consult your lawyer how that works in addition to your W-2. But for myself as a self-employed, I do know very well. I get a 1099. I subtract everything that I spend to get that money.
So I can run the software, your package on my own PC, and at the same time participate in this group activity.
Yes,
well, right? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So you are running by yourself on your own is your choice.
What later on at some point, if I want to add more to the account, not just $20, $30 a month?
We will probably not need that because I will have to keep this. I don't want to expand the possibilities that I have already put here because this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I will keep this. We add one account per month, hopefully, and so the money keeps paying for itself. You're not going to need to bring more money into this.
Okay.
If you need more money, put more money, then you would better do it on your own. All right.
Great.
Hey, John, this is Jim. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, so hey, obviously I'm sure we all support you and it's a great product, but I have a question. So when you talk about multiple accounts, are you talking about like just basically using a trade copier with like multiple Leelo accounts? Is that kind of what you're thinking about?
I have not done their copier. It's a possibility as long as it's technically let's say fail proof. I did a lot of trade copying on Forex. I traded Forex from 2010 through 2015. 2013 started not going so great, and then eventually I was not able to stay profitable. But I did a lot of trade copying on Forex, and it was perfect, 99.9% perfect. But I don't know about NinjaTrader. Only one guy, that Apex people. That's the only one, and I can't see examples of it.
I use that now. So I use the Apex, and that was the only one that I suggest.
Okay.
So it works for me right now, and it works pretty flawlessly. And it also, if somebody's not able to, if somebody wants to trade their own account, but trade like the MES, like micros,
yes,
they can use the trade. I mean, obviously you wouldn't suggest that.
Because, okay. There is only one limitation on that NinjaTrader Apex copier. I consulted with Leeloo or some other sources, and I was told that the copier only works if the rhythmic ID is in your own name. Both accounts are plated matched to you. You can't copy
Yeah.
for somebody else.
That's true.
Which in Forex we do for 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Right. So the accounts, because the accounts would have to be whoever's copying it would need to have access to all the accounts on their computer. So yeah, you are right. They would need those logins. So yeah. So forget I even asked this question, John. You're right.
No, but it's a good discussion because maybe there was something else that I didn't know, and but you are just confirming what I learned, and I'm so glad that basically it's not. Sometimes I have to I have so many guesses doing this thing, and talking to someone who already has it, then it prevents me from spreading rumors. All right, any more questions, guys? 1 hour here. I think it's about to close on us.
Yeah, nothing from me, but thanks for putting it all together, and thanks. Appreciate your time. And
All right.
we'll be contacting. I mean, you will provide more information soon, so I will be looking forward for that.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. If I didn't quite answer your question, I will be looking at this. Someone asked me about the cost of the software. I don't know if you're talking about my own software, but so my V3 series will be $350 if you want to run it on your own. Initially running on your own, as I said, the 3.1 is free. Now, later on, if you want to add the 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, then it will be $350 for 40 days, or you can just purchase it as the price today is around $950. But I will also give you my customers a discount, $300. So you're probably looking at $650. If you want to purchase the V3, it's not ready for delivery, by the way. So just hold on. Hopefully I'll get it done in 3 to 4 days after I debug. So my current customers would buy the V3 outright today for $650. That would be, versions that I have not even finished, but the 3.1 is 99% finished, and the other ones are in the 90% range. They're already working, by the way. It's just that there are little things that need to be smoothed out the edges. So for current customers, $650. For new customers, $950 for myself for the V3. Okay, guys. But as I said, start with the milestone one and don't need to pay anything until you are sure what you want to buy. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Good night, all. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.